My perfect sister stole my identity, embezzled millions, and got me arrested. Now she wants me to bail her out so she doesn't miss her own wedding. Okay, Reddit. I'm at my absolute breaking point and I honestly don't know what to do. I need some objective advice, because my family is, well, you'll see. This is a long one, but I promise it's worth it. Let's start with my sister, Veronica. Veronica has always been the golden child. Always. From the moment she was born, she could do no wrong in our parents' eyes. She was beautiful, smart, charming, and just naturally good at everything. I, on the other hand, was always just me. Average. Competent. Sure, but never spectacular. Veronica got the lead in every school play, the scholarship to an Ivy League, the perfect fiancé, the dream job. I got a solid B in algebra, a respectable state university degree, and a decent but unremarkable career in accounting. I tried not to let it bother me, truly. I told myself that her success wasn't my failure, that we were different people with different paths. But it's hard when every family gathering is a constant stream of Veronica's accomplishments, punctuated by a polite, almost pitying, "And how are things with you, OP?" Our parents, bless their hearts, genuinely believed they were being fair. They'd say things like, "We love you both equally," right after gushing about Veronica's latest promotion. They just didn't see it. Or maybe they did and just didn't care enough to change. I learned to live with it, to nod and smile and offer congratulations, even when my stomach was churning with a mix of resentment and an almost pathological urge to just disappear. The real trouble started about 3 years ago. I was working as a senior accountant for a mid-sized tech company, making a decent salary, saving up for a down payment on a small house. Nothing flashy, but it was mine, earned through hard work and meticulous budgeting. I had a good credit score, no debt apart from my student loans, which I was diligently paying off. My life was, for the first time, stable and predictable. Then the letters started arriving. First, a notice from a bank I didn't recognize, informing me that my account was overdrawn. I called them, confused, and they told me I had an account under my name, with my social security number, opened 6 months prior. I told them it wasn't me, that I had never banked with them. They were polite but firm, explaining that the account was very active and had been used for numerous large transactions. They suggested I file a police report. I did. And that's when the nightmare truly began. Within weeks, my credit score plummeted. More letters arrived, collection notices for luxury cars I hadn't bought, mortgages for properties I didn't own, massive credit card bills from places like Cartier and Tiffany's. My meticulously built financial life was collapsing around me. I spent months trying to untangle the mess. Hours on the phone, endless paperwork, police reports, fraud affidavits. It was a full-time job on top of my actual full-time job. I was exhausted, stressed, and constantly on edge. Every ding of my phone sent a jolt of fear through me. My meticulously organized life was in chaos, and I had no idea who was doing this or why. The police investigation dragged on. They kept telling me it looked like an inside job, that the perpetrator had access to my personal information, my birth date, my mother's maiden name, even my childhood pets' names, the kind of information only someone very close to me would know. I went through everyone in my life, racking my brain, trying to imagine who would want to destroy me like this. It never once crossed my mind that it could be Veronica. She was perfect. Why would she need to do something like this? She had everything. Then came the FBI. Yes, the FBI. The amounts involved were no longer just a few $1,000s in credit card debt. We were talking millions. Embezzlement. Money laundering. The initial fraud had been used to open shell companies, which were then used to funnel vast sums of money from several unwitting investors. My name was on everything. I was the face of the operation. I'll never forget the day they arrested me. I was at work, sitting at my desk, minding my own business, when 2 agents walked in. They handcuffed me in front of my horrified colleagues. I was mortified, humiliated. They took me to the station, interrogated me for hours. I tried to explain, to tell them I was innocent, that someone had stolen my identity. But the evidence was overwhelming. My signature was on documents, my social security number, my alleged financial statements showing millions passing through accounts in my name. I was released on bail, but my life was effectively over. I lost my job, of course. Who would employ an accountant facing federal charges for embezzlement? My friends started distancing themselves. My parents, for the first time, seemed truly concerned, but even then, their concern was laced with a hint of suspicion. Are you sure you didn't do anything, sweetie? Maybe you just forgot. The legal fees were astronomical. I drained my savings, sold my car, even contemplated selling my kidney at one point. I was so desperate. My parents helped a little, but it was clear they were struggling too, and I couldn't bear to ask them for more. I was facing decades in prison, a ruined reputation, and an astronomical debt that would follow me for the rest of my life. The turning point came 6 months ago. My lawyer, a brilliant but cynical woman named Sarah, had been working tirelessly. She finally found a pattern, a small anomaly in the paper trail. The signatures on the documents were indeed mine, or at least, incredibly convincing forgeries. But the writing style, the way certain numbers were formed, didn't quite match my actual handwriting. It was close, almost perfect, but not quite. Sarah suggested we get a handwriting expert involved. The expert confirmed it. The signatures were forgeries, but incredibly skilled ones, made by someone who had spent a lot of time practicing my signature. Someone who had access to my old notebooks, my school papers, anything with my handwriting on it. Sarah then went back to the financial documents, looking for any other inconsistencies. And she found it. A tiny, almost imperceptible detail. A recurring pattern in the IP addresses used to access some of the online accounts. They all traced back to a specific, high-end apartment building in a wealthy part of the city. An apartment building where Veronica lived. It hit me like a physical blow. Veronica, my perfect sister. It couldn't be. It absolutely could not be. But the evidence started piling up. Sarah found bank transfers from the fraudulent accounts to an offshore account, then to a legitimate account in Veronica's name. Purchases of incredibly expensive items, designer clothes, jewelry, extravagant vacations, all paid for with money that was supposedly mine, but had been funneled through the embezzlement scheme. My parents were devastated, absolutely shattered. They refused to believe it at first. Our Veronica. No, impossible. But when confronted with the irrefutable evidence, the sheer volume of proof, they finally broke down. Veronica was arrested, and the charges against me were dropped. The relief was immense, a crushing weight lifted from my shoulders, but it was quickly replaced by a profound sense of betrayal and a deep, aching sadness. Veronica, of course, denied everything. She claimed I was framing her, that I was jealous of her success, that I was trying to ruin her life. Even when faced with the mountain of evidence, she maintained her innocence, playing the victim. It was a masterful performance, one she had honed her entire life. But this time, it wasn't enough. She's currently out on bail, awaiting trial. Her trial is set for next month, just 2 weeks before her lavish wedding to her equally perfect fiancé, David. David, by the way, is completely oblivious to the extent of Veronica's criminal activity. He thinks she's just been unlucky and that I'm a bitter, jealous sister. My parents have been trying to explain the situation to him, but Veronica has painted such a convincing picture of me as the villain that is not really listening. He loves her, he says. He'll stand by her, no matter what. He even paid her enormous bail, thinking it was just a misunderstanding, and this is where the current drama begins. Yesterday, I received a frantic call from my mother. Veronica's bail has been revoked. Apparently, she tried to flee the country. She bought a one-way ticket to a non-extradition country, packed a bag, and was literally at the airport when the authorities caught her. She's now in custody, no bail, awaiting trial. My mother was sobbing, almost incoherent. OP, you have to help her. She's going to miss her wedding. You have to bail her out. I was stunned. Mom, are you serious? She tried to flee the country. And even if she hadn't, why would I bail her out? She stole my identity, embezzled millions, and got me arrested. My life was destroyed because of her. But it's her wedding, honey. Think of the optics. Think of what David will think. She's your sister. Family helps family, she pleaded, as if I had forgotten this fundamental truth. My father then got on the phone, his voice strained. Look, OP, we know what she did was wrong. Terribly wrong. And we are so sorry for everything you went through. But she's still our daughter. And your sister. We just want her to have a chance to make things right. If she misses her wedding, it will be the end of everything for her. She should have thought about that before she committed federal crimes and tried to frame me. I retorted, my voice rising. She had everything, Dad. Why? Why did she do this? And why am I, the victim, expected to save her from the consequences of her own actions? My father sighed, a deep, weary sound. She was under a lot of pressure, OP. From David's family, from her job. She felt like she always had to be perfect, to keep up appearances. She made some bad choices, but she's still family. Pressure to embezzle millions and destroy her sister's life. I almost laughed, but it was a bitter, hollow sound. That's not pressure, Dad, that's malice. And I'm still dealing with the aftermath. My savings are gone, my career is in tatters, I'm still rebuilding my credit. And now you expect me to use what little I have left to bail out the person who did all of this to me. We'll pay you back, OP, I promise, my mother interjected, her voice full of desperation. We'll sell the house if we have to. Just please, please help your sister. You don't have that kind of money, Mom. Her bail is astronomical now, especially after she tried to flee. And even if you did, why would I trust you after everything? You defended her. You refused to believe me, even when I was facing prison time. The call ended with my parents begging and me refusing. I hung up feeling a mix of anger, despair, and a strange kind of vindication. For the first time, they were seeing Veronica for who she truly was, stripped of her perfect facade. But it was too late. The damage was done. Later that evening, David called me. He sounded furious. What's wrong with you, OP? Why won't you help Veronica? She told me you have some vendetta against her, that you've always been jealous. I didn't believe it at first, but now I'm starting to think she's right. How can you be so cruel to your own sister? David, do you have any idea what she did? I asked, trying to keep my voice even. She stole my identity, opened fraudulent accounts in my name, and embezzled millions of dollars. I was arrested. I lost everything. She literally tried to frame me for federal crimes. She made a mistake, he shouted, his voice cracking with emotion. She just needed some money for a business venture that went south. She never meant to hurt you. She's been so stressed, trying to make everything perfect for our wedding, for our future. And you're just making it worse. A business venture that went south. I repeated, incredulous. David, she tried to flee the country. She's a criminal. She defrauded numerous investors, stole from them, and then tried to pin it all on me. This isn't a mistake. It's a systematic pattern of criminal behavior. You're just jealous, he spat. You've always resented her success. This is your pathetic attempt to ruin her life because you can't stand to see her happy. I hung up on him. I couldn't deal with it anymore. The sheer audacity, the gaslighting, the twisted narrative that Veronica had clearly fed him. It was sickening now. Here I am. My phone hasn't stopped ringing all day. My parents, David, even some distant relatives who have somehow gotten wind of the situation and are calling to reason with me. They're all echoing the same sentiment. Family helps family. It's her wedding. She's your sister. I feel like I'm going insane. Am I the bad guy here? Is there some moral obligation I'm missing? Should I put aside all the pain, the humiliation, the financial ruin she inflicted on me, just so she can make it to her wedding? A wedding that, by the way, I wasn't even invited to, because Veronica said she didn't want my negative energy around on her special day. Part of me, a tiny, dark part, wants to let her rot. I want her to face every single consequence of her actions. I want her to miss her wedding, to lose David, to have her perfect life shatter around her, just like she shattered mine. Another part, the part that still remembers the little sister I once loved, feels a pang of something close to pity. But that feeling is quickly overshadowed by the searing memory of those handcuffs, the interrogation room, the shame. Reddit, please, tell me I'm not crazy. Tell me I'm not obligated to save my sister from the mess she created. I'm so tired of being the scapegoat, the forgotten one, the one expected to sacrifice everything for the golden child. What do I do? How do I deal with this family pressure? How do I move on from this? I just want my life back.